I am in the silliest mood right now because it has just become so abundantly clear that I am not in charge at all. I am not, so not in charge. I hope that I have not given anyone the impression that I am in charge or know what I'm doing, because I don't. What I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just rolling with it. And what this whole summer has been so far is showing me that I am not in charge. Surrendering. And I feel like well, I mean, I guess I could just go through the ways that the universe has showed me that I'm not in charge. Uh, it turns out that you really, really, really need to. You can manifest things. You can come up with things. You can think about manifesting them. You can put it out there, um, but you have to detach from the outcome. You have to detach from the outcome. It's the only That's how it works. And you think you're detached from the outcome, and you are not. And then the minute that you finally let go, that's when you get it. So, uh, this whole summer, I have been. Well, I thought my summer was going to be one thing, and it turned into something totally different so far. Uh, yeah, I had set intentions of what this summer was going to be. Right, once my son decided to not be around all summer, and my daughter decided to not be around all summer, it totally flipped the script on what the possibilities were for this summer. And I've been doing a lot of work, and I hadn't really been out there dating, and it seems like that was like made sense, that would, there was this time and space created for me to explore that part of myself. um and I thought I had done all the work. I'm not all the work. You can't do all the work. Obviously, it's you're constantly learning and shifting and growing based on new information that you get, because you're showing up different. So I'm here for that, I'm like, yeah, like, who am I? Like, who am I in a romance situation? Who am I now? Uh I basically only dated two men my entire adult life. And then I was celibate for 5 years. So I'm like, I have become conscious, and I have become more present in my body, and I realize how much like physical sensation is part of the reason that we're here, that we exist in these meat suits. Um, and yeah, I was pretty sure that was I joked about hot girl summer, but there was a part of me that was like, I feel like that could be true. And it was not. Spoiler alert, it was not. It was something totally different. It has been something totally different. The summer's not over yet, obviously. It's just, we're like midway. Um, but now also, I am preparing for Burning Man. And this is another thing that has totally shown me that I have no control. I'm not in charge. I, I led early team last year because this fantastic, wonderful, lovely human could not come last year. And so I stepped in, and it was the most intense leadership experience. I mean, I'm incredibly grateful for it. I learned so much about myself, and the mirror was amazing. If you care to hear about the drama that was my leadership boot camp at Burning Man last year, uh, it's definitely on a previous episode where I'm telling stories about Burning Man. Um, but I this year I was like, yeah, I think I'll just like not let me be a grunt again. I really like being a grunt. I have learned a lot about leadership at Burning Man, and I the first when I first went there, well, I went there in 2015, and that was when I started becoming conscious. And what's interesting is that as I've continued down this road of becoming more conscious, I guess, the less I want to be a leader. Like I used to sort of want to have those leadership roles because my ego really loved it, and I thought I knew better, right? Like I was like, yeah, I see this, I know I could do this better. And then in 2017, they had me actually lead something during the build at Burning Man, and I realized, nope, nope, that's not actually what I want. I would just so much rather be the person who's helping the leader, right? Like, because there's two different kinds of people mostly, or at least my experience of this is that you either have people who show up as cats that you have to herd every time there's a pause in the action, uh, or the other type are the chimer inners, who are the ones who also see how it could be done different, better, more efficiently, whatever, and they're chiming in because they see this and they want to help, but it does not help. Turns out when you're a leader and you're trying to get stuff done, the chimer inners uh, are like the worst. And I was one of those. So after that experience, I was like, okay, now I know what I want. I want to be one of the people, and I'm not going to be a cat, and I'm not going to be a chimer inner. I am going to be like the most helpful mother bugger that this person's ever had on their team, because now I know what it's like to try to lead through that. Um, and so that was when I like kind of decided no more leadership. Like I had no desire for leadership at all. Like I was like, got that. No, thank you. I'll just be like, I'll do color commentary. I'll try to make people laugh. I'll play music. I'll do like like energy maintenance. It's a good role for me. Um, yeah. So then when I got asked to lead last year, and it was so like it was all the things. And so this year I was like, yeah, let me just go back. Let me go back to like just doing like the side, just being in the mix, doing the grunt work, cracking jokes, not taking things too seriously. And now uh, I'm being asked to lead the early team again. Surprise twist of events. And I it was definitely not my intention, um, but it's hard to say no when you're presented with this beautiful, um, well, this opportunity to do it better, this opportunity to when you have your campmates and in family saying, uh, we want to see you in action again. You and we're gonna be so supportive of you. We're gonna build a team that is here for you, to help you and we really like to see you do your thing. And yeah, like you can't turn that down. Like that's just straight up universe being like, hey, you you're not in charge. And so it's not gonna be boring. I know, like what's gonna happen. And of course now, like I just have to lean into it, and just surrender to what is. Um, so that is happening. Also, Also, my son is coming back early. He wants to come home, and if you listen to previous episodes, uh, you'll know um, what that means. You know, for me. Uh, so so yeah, so he's coming home early. Hot Girl Summer was a bust. And you know what? I'm actually not complaining. I am just well, this is why, right? Like I definitely have spent I have definitely spent quite a bit of time wondering why things are unfolding the way that they are, especially in like the guy department. Like that's like a tough one, right? Because whew, women, like, our self-worth is tied to um like whether we are wanted by men. Like there's that's a that's a program that we get from the earliest of days. Make sure you do this, make sure you do that. You must be wanted by men. If you're not wanted by men, then what is your worth? So make sure to do all of these things so that you are appealing to the man. And so I've had to really like look at those feelings that are coming up for me, because like I'm like, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to date, I'm open to possibilities, and like every single man that I've met, that I've connected with this summer, has been like, I'm attached, I'm married, like it's yeah, well, that's the deal. And so then, you're like at this I have where you're like, wait, I'm actually like really putting myself out there and I'm not getting anywhere. What is happening? And then you're like, oh, you ask questions about, how you're showing up, or, you know, um, my whole summer, the theme of this summer has been play, like trying new things and playing. Like let me like the things that I've done this summer. I went rafting um, for Memorial Day weekend and went to this like sort of small mini festival on this beautiful property, and I went on a backpacking trip with like 15 people where we climbed into this really deep cave with a river running through it, and everyone was skinny dipping, and we had lights everywhere, so it looked like our camp out location on top of a cliff looked like a dance club. Like and like I started learning. I'm playing pickleball, and that's been super fun. I'm going raft camping next weekend for the first time, and I'm like over the moon about that. I went to Apogea. Like it's just been outdoor playground. Like that's what my summer has been. I went paddleboarding. I went paddleboarding too. That was so fun. Yeah, it is like fully outdoor playground, learning about the ways that I enjoy playing, and just having a blast outside. It's summer camp summer. Apparently, it wasn't hot girl summer. It was summer camp summer, and and it's just been really fun, and I've been learning so much, and the things that I've been learning have been in alignment with what I feel like my purpose is here. So that's really lovely. And um yeah, so releasing what releasing the expectation on the outcome, and then just like leaning into what actually is, and like you can like you can I wonder if I still have a level of codependency energy that I that I need to work through. Um, because I recognize the fact that part of the reason why I've been hesitant to be back in a relationship is because in the past I've lost myself. Because I love, I love this person, and I find fun in so many things. And so a lot of times, like, all of their fun becomes my fun because um, I love when people are passionate about things, but that's also sort of a big part of the reason why I didn't know who I was or what I found fun after that last relationship ended, and that was a really scary place to like be like left alone, like you're now on your own as an adult, uh, and you realize that you don't know what you find fun, um, because everything that you found that is fun up until this point has been because other people find it fun, and yeah. So so I'm curious if part of the reason why my summer has unfolded the way that it has is it's the universe trying to make sure that I've locked in uh, what it is that I need to know about myself. Um, but I'd also like to, I would like to think that I have reached a point in my evolution where my relationships will look completely different. Relationships with men, with humans, with everyone, already is very, very, very different than it was. And I perhaps I don't know what that looks like quite yet, but I think that's a learn by doing thing. And as long as I can keep my North Star, um, I don't know. I feel like it's just expansive. Universe. I feel like it'll just expand my experience here. So, oh my gosh, here's me attaching to the outcome again. Okay, so I built an altar. I had a friend who coached me on how to build an altar to my king. So that's what I'm doing. I'm calling in my king, and uh, I'm like made a very specific list of things that I'm looking for, and the altar is covered with these really meaningful um, elements that represent what a king means to me. And I think I have about 50 different thoughts about what the type of king that is that I am calling in. And I cannot wait until I tell you that I have found him. I don't know when that's going to be, but it's definitely happening. So stay tuned. I'll let you know when I've met my king. And then I'm just detaching from that. Like I cannot have any waiting energy around that at all. Um, because that's also really a big part of it. You got to live your life. You can't be waiting around for something to happen. You got to live the life that's in front of you. Uh, so I find that when I try to produce these podcasts for myself, I get just lost. Thank you for, if you are one of the ones who poked me about getting a podcast out, I am thanking you. I appreciate it. It really does work. It helps. It helps. It helps to remind me that that this is part of what I'm doing right now. So thank you for that reminder. Mm, I hope that you're having a really good summer. I heard a statistic that kind of shook me to my core, and it was that someone about my age said that they realized they only have 27 summers left. And My God, when you put it that way, you've got to make up you've got to just like live every minute of summer, because summer is the best. So I hope you're having a very expansive and fun and playful and outdoors, nature filled summer.